Welcome back, everybody, to the JSL Weekly Roundup. We are going into game number 1 of Group D, Week 3. This will be a matchup between Blazefort and Yakuza. It looks like we have a gold versus flat, basically. Or gold versus gold. Let me take a quick look here for you guys so we know exactly what these matchups are. I do have that information available to me. So, Blazefort. Looking like he's a gold league, gold. So GVG, gold v gold. It will be a mirror matchup with TVT. Now, TVT is one of those matchups that are generally can be very slow. It can also be very quick. You know, make one mess up, they go all your Marines in a tank versus Marine type composition, or maybe one player goes mech. Now, if you've ever watched any of my replays on the Replay Happy Hour or seen me play, I'm a very cheeky Terran player. But, you know, enough about me. How about a little bit about this guy right here from Cranky? He goes by the name of Yakuza. Or Yakuzaku, I should say. The pink Terran pieces. Now, in the top right-hand corner, his opponent is a teal-blue Terran. He goes by the name of Blazefort. So it looks like both players are going to open up with a very similar opening on Black-Pink LE. Now, this is one of those maps where, as I was saying, I'm a very cheeky Terran player. Like, I will proxy it right here. Right here behind these steam vents, or right up here in this corner where you will never expect to have to scout, because, like, the way the pathing goes, SCVs generally will miss a lot unless you tell them to look into a corner. And we do have a second barracks being added on already for Yakuzaku. I'm curious as what's going to happen here. We do have a Reaper scout coming out for Blazefort. Now, Reaper is this ride right down to the natural base, so this could be to defend for a second to make sure no other Reaper gets in. Now, the thing about TVT is this map was changed up. I used to never open Reaper on this map because, personally, this right here was never here. This jump up was never here. This is one reason I personally stopped opening Reaper here. Is because I could just simply put 2 Marines right here on this ledge, you catch a Reaper, and you never scout me again. I can high tech all day long around my base, and you know I can make it very, very difficult for you to get in. Now we did have an SCV scout here with Yakuza or Blazefort, who did scout that there is a factory or 3 barracks being added on here. Now this looks to be 3 Racks Reaper. I like this decision. I mean, I haven't seen 3 Racks Reaper forever. Now it looks like the aggression here could be huge, especially with your opponent just now going into a factory and a second barracks. He's even added on a reactor. You can completely blindside him with this, especially once he gets up here, jumps up, and we'll see that there's 3 racks. You know, and then 2 more Reapers pop out. It's like, oh my gosh, wait a second, this shouldn't get any damage done at all. Especially once you scout. I mean, you just immediately start popping out Hellions and Cyclones, and bam, you got it. Again, the Reaper will jump up here and just wind up getting picked off. Nope, he will make it out. But 2 Reapers should be a sign. 2 Reapers should be a very... Oh crap, I'm about to get pressured here. Very, very difficult. Like, high pressure. Not just... Okay, here's a little jab at you. This is like, could be all-in type of pressure. But why this is a bit of a problem for Blazefort is... But if he can hold this, he could be in a very good position here. I like this idea to add on the engineering bay right here to jump up. Now, I do believe Reapers can just jump right around this corner. We'll have to wait and see. A Cyclone pop out. A couple Marines are here to help defend as well. Getting denied by the engineering bay. That was a beautiful play by Blazefort. Like, yeah, if there was like a JSL top 10 VOD, that should be it right there. That eBay just popping out. The Cyclone is out. Marines are out. You should have no problem cleaning up this aggression now. First Reaper is going to get picked up almost immediately. Some SCVs are getting picked off, but again, these Reapers are pretty much trapped. The only way out is for them to go all the way around to these 3 Marines in the south, as well as, or back into the army of Blazefort. Now, this aggression is over. You can't get the Reapers up their front because the engineering base is blocking. This is, like, amazing hold here by Yakuzaku. Is so, like, really well, or, well, this is a really well hold by Blazefort. I apologize. Now, this is what Yakuzaku on a back foot is. He is having to expand from his main base. He's not able to just throw an SCV down because there is Reaper hanging out. And Blazefort just showing exactly just how easy it could be to hold off 3x Reaper. I mean, going on that eBay, Really well done. Now, Yakuzaku doesn't look like he's done with the Reapers just yet. Looks like this guy loves his Reapers. I don't blame him for that. Reapers are a very good unit. But as the game goes on, they're going to start to drop off drastically. Now, I don't see him getting any more damage done here, especially with the Marines being down here in the low ground, Cyclones being on the low ground. But now he does have concussion grenades to his name. He will be able to, CC this army quite a bit. There's no Marauders yet. I would like to see some Marauders added on with this army and Concussion Shell. Because then these Reapers just die. There's no way for a Reaper to live against that type of aggression or counter. They'll run up here and try to bypass his army and just awkwardly disappear. The tank's going to get in here and say, no you don't, mate. But the tank's going to keep rolling, so yes you do. That's awkward. The tank is like, yeah, I see you. He's going. Trying to pick up that one SCV, but the tank says, nope. Nope. Alright, but again, I'm just going to point out the idle SCVs. Guys, for those of you who are trying to make it out of gold and getting plat, that's one of the things you got to work on. Get your workers working, man. Get them idle boys back to work. Anyway, now at this point in time, this is basically Blazefort's game to kind of throw. I mean, his opponent has a lot of barracks being added on, yes, a lot of catching up to do it. He's catching up very, very quickly. He now has his expansion coming down, so this Reaper out here will kind of deny that. He's just gonna... oh my gosh! He's forcing Yakuzaku to come and have to clean this up. I thought he was about to take his third, like right down here on the low ground as his natural expansion, but he's not going to do that. Now, honestly, Blazefort should just kind of be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, sure, he can just kind of tech up, do what he wants. Gonna get that Liberator and some medevacs out for some little bit of air cover. And at this point, it's all a matter of time. If his opponent, who doesn't have the mineral really to be running this type of idea to come back just yet, doesn't get enough army out, he isn't going to be able to hold here. And now Blazefort can just easily push across the map and just be like, yep, this is what you get for the cheat. Did I not update the information? Okay, there we go. It's updated now. Hopefully though. Now Yakuzaku is adding awesome tanks, so he will be able to have some tanks of his own. Just have some medevacs out, so he will be able to heal up as well. Those out of scan sees that his opponent's army is still back home, so he doesn't have to worry about any aggression just yet. Blazefort trying to, get his own macro game rolling. He needs to add on some more barracks. Blazefort, you had a fabulous hold at the start, mate, but you should be up to like 7 barracks right about now. General rule of thumb, you can afford 5 barracks and produce on 5 barracks on 2 base very, very easily as a Terran player. So add on some more barracks for me, mate. That's what I want to see from you right now, is some more barracks, Blazefort. He's going to go ahead and move out across the map with this army. Now, he does have a slight army supply lead, but especially when it all gets loaded up for Yakuzaku and the medevacs and floating across the map. This could be a very disastrous situation that happens here, or a very smart situation that happens here. This tank is going to be able to get picked off by the Liberator if Blazefort is paying attention. And not just waiting for his army to get here. Because if he positions himself wrong or takes a step too far forward, his Marines are going to get shelled. The drop for Yakuzaku, however, is getting ready to make its way into the main base. Now this could be the best decision ever. He loaded up his army and floated across the map, and he has some tanks back home to hold with. This Liberator is going to be able to go ahead and pick off this tank for free. The tank is going to siege up on the low ground and start picking away at this bunker. Now he can still very easily hold this. You just can't let the Liberator pick off another tank. But meanwhile, in the main base, a drop going down, finding some huge economic damage already. Blazefort going to be in a heap of trouble if he doesn't find the damage he needs to find. Production's starting to get picked off. The barracks are starting to start getting cleaned up here very easily. But a tank here on the high ground is going to be able to start shelling away at this army of Yakuzaku. But he did find some very good economic damage there. But would it be enough to keep him in this game? I don't think it will be. Especially if this Liberator is going to be able to knock down this last tank. Not fast enough as it started focusing down Marines. But the last tank of Yakuzaku does indeed end up falling, which means there's nothing here to really help defend except for some Marines and a medevac. He's going to have to bring this medevac drop home. A little bit of F2 there. to keep this aggression going. Actually, once you get back in here, trying to find it. Starport actually burning down there for Blazefort. So both players really starting to feel that trap moment of yeah, I just got dropped. I'm in a bit of a panicky state now. I don't know if I should move out. Don't know if I should come back home. Now, what Yakuzaku needs, he does get the Viking. He will be able to knock down his Liberator, which is going to take away that high ground vision that the Liberator offers, and it'll take away that sieging capability, you know, just zone out some army. Liberator is going to unsiege. There is no, he's going to stem right up with the Cyclone, but there's still a lot more Marines here, mate. Your opponent can counter stem you and just clean up the rest of your army, but the Cyclone DPS, the Cyclone not getting focus at all. And that should get Blazefort game number 1 here, as he just went for it. The rest of the army is just now coming back home for Yakuzaku. Blazefort blazing down the fort, as his name implies. He wound up taking game number 1 here very, very easily off a very fabulous hold of that Reaper all in. In case you missed it, he threw a eBay down and blocked the jump up so the Reapers couldn't get up there. GG gonna get called out for Yakuzaku. That's gonna be game number 1 going to Blazefort in this series. It's the best of 3 series here in Gold League. Noob, says Turtle Yoshi. Welcome to the stream, mate. How's MagFest? Okay, I need game number 2. As we continue this lovely cast of Group D. Going into game number 2 in this Gold League matchup between this man right here and the pink Terran pieces of Yakuzaku. Or Cranky, and then the other left-hand side of the map on an Odyssey LE, the blue teal pieces currently up 1-0 in the series. He goes by the name of Blazefort. Now Blazefort does have some time, you know, he could throw his match or he decide to do something crazy here and go for like maybe first. Wait. Where's this SCV going? Way up into the top right corner. You got a proxy of barracks or racks? Hey, this is something I don't do on Odyssey LE against Terra because it just gets stopped so easily. It's too big a map to try proxying anything like that. Unless it's a starport? One barracks being added on back home. Now this looks like it might be for a factory, might be for a starport indeed. So the proxy play, the proxy shenanigans are going to continue. Or the Yakuzaku shenanigans, I should say, are going to continue here in game number 2. Now, Blazefort going to go ahead and send this SCV across the map to scout, I would hope. Guys, see that something is up. There's a oh man, there's a second barracks being added on. The proxy shenanigans will commence here. Proxy Reapers, when your Reaper all-in fails once, why not try again? Yakuzaku is going to do just that. Now, you could easily just throw down an engineering bay here once again and just block off the jump up. And especially when your opponent gets across here and scouts that you were opening Reaper and you've walled off, it's generally a sign that you're hiding something in TVT. Like a lot of Terrans will just like immediately throw down a depot, throw down a racks to get it started faster, and then proceed to wall off. But I guess down in Gold League, you just are still kind of scared of, you know, anybody just running some cyclones up your ramp, which is understandable. But that also leaves a lot of supply depots exposed on the front side. 4 SCV of Yakuzaku here is going to get picked off. Worker for free. Oh. That A command. This is why you don't A click when you're trying to focus down one particular thing. Which was that SCV, so SCV does end up living. But now, Reapers are on the way once again. Now this is going to look very similar. You know, this Reaper might take a little bit to get into the base actually. I'm curious to see how Blazefort holds this. I mean, if he does end up holding this, because if you think about it, this is going to be one of those situations where you don't know about the proxy. Now, this Reaper is taking a little bit longer than normal to get across the map, which should be kind of a tell. I mean, but down in, again, it's Gold League matchup, so you really won't be paying attention to the small details like that. Here we go. Reapers do get the mineral line here of Blazefort and are going to be able to start finding some economic damage. Reaper going to come back home once again. SCV is getting pulled off the line, trying to find a way to surround these 2 Reapers of Yakuzaku. who does, at this point, can just start microing away and A-clicking these down. He is going to try and fight a little bit longer. Now, this could be the disaster that makes a mistake for him. Blazefort trying to preemptively get that grenade. He will pick off one Reaper. He's going to be able to pick off the other two here very, very easily, as the Marines do join the fight. But a lot of SCVs have been killed here, as we're up to 9 SCVs so far for 3 Reapers. The economy damage has been done, but this still puts Blazefort in a really, really good position here. I mean, sure, your name's Yakuzaku, you have 20 SCVs to your name and an orbital command center, and you can go ahead and expand, but your opponent has already expanded. He can build SCVs at twice the rate. Throwing out a scan. This, why? Alright, you want to be using these for meals at this point. You just scouted with the Reapers. The Reapers do 2 things in this. They play aggressively, and they scout. You don't want to be using your Reapers like that, you know, if you're not looking for also information of what your opponent can be going into. It's a 2-1, like a 2-1 composition here, and there might just be a Marine Cyclone push that comes out across the map here and kills off Yakuzaku, who also needs to start looking into building some more supply depots here soon. Engineering Bay and a factory being added on for a pink Terran player. Wait, is he building Marauders now? The wise words of Ostrich. We don't change up our cheese, we just modify it a little bit. But we don't stop our cheese, we just modify it. That's how it went. That's how I made it go. Anyway, these Reapers are going to be able to start finding some more damage once again, but now there is a Cyclone in the mix, so it should just immediately start chewing these up. And Blazefort can just easily transfer his SCVs down to his natural at this point. Reapers are actually going to get chased. Pick up one. No, don't lose a Reaper. If he's going to add Marauders on, oh my god. Okay, sure. I mean, alright, so you're going to proxy some Marauders after this. Now, if your name's Blazefort, you're going, I held this once again. I should be in a pretty good spot. You know, stop, take a stretch type of moment. And, alright, we should be fine here, right? We should be perfectly fine. Now, Yakuzaku, however, is just going to go through the front of these Marauders. Which means the custom shell is going to slow down a lot of these Marines so that they don't get a lot of damage done or can't get away very, very easily. In early game, Marauders just don't die. Like, 5 minutes in really isn't early anymore. But, like, with a good Marauder count, they just don't die. So, Yakuzaku can actually set up a very good multi-prong behind this as well. Marauders to the front, Reapers at the back. But Blazefort is pretty well spread out here. He does have a tank up here in the natural base, so he will be able to defend very easily. It looks like exactly what he wants to do. Now, he needed to do this differently. You needed to scare Blazefort into thinking, oh, you're going to come through the front with a whole bunch of Marauders now. Like, I got to go defend this and make him pull his army down. And then send the Reapers up. I mean, now, it's just like that. You just immediately lost one of your Marauders. You don't have any way of actually doing any damage now. Your army is a technical army that isn't really getting anything done. So at this point, you just have to like play the turtle game. You have to turtle up as the Terran and try to get your economy caught up to your opponents. Get your tech caught up to your opponents in a way that will allow you to just very easily just move across the map. Now Yakuzaku actually building stem back home. You can very easily go ahead and pick up combat shield as well for his Marines. This is turning into a game that's going to kind of, you know, stabilize out for a little bit. It's going to kind of quiet down. Because both players are just like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to go play macro now and, you know, just hang out for a bit. Get my army up, get it ahead of yours, and push across the map. Again, Blazefort also delays a lot of his barracks, guys. So if you do have to play him next week, just see ahead. He does delay a lot of his barracks indeed. Marauders, Marines, and tanks, why not? Yakuzaku is going to go ahead and fly his barracks back home. Blazefort is in one of those positions where he thinks there might be some more Reapers on the way, so I guess he's just going to go ahead and wall off this jump up. You know, it's going to open up some supply for him, which he does kind of sorely need. Both players need to get their supply depots up. That's funny, because as a macro player, if you get this maxed out as Terran, before, like, I think it's like 9 minutes is when you want to be maxed as Terran. And that's ideal if your opponent doesn't do any aggression. Now, Yakuzaku, both games, has decided he wants to go and be this aggressive player. And he really didn't get, in the end, not a whole lot done. Sure, he lost less resources, but he also lost army, which at this point could be Marines. You know, maybe another extra tank. Or a third base. Maybe a couple more barracks added on already. I mean, you're trying to catch your economy up to your opponent. You're behind in SCVs. And a mirror match where your opponent also has mules. Then, yeah, it's a very dicey situation to try and play a catch-up game in a TVT. Unlike ZVZ, where if you can keep your opponent on lane bane or like Ling Bane for a while, and just find some Baneling connections that trade out very, very well, you might actually be able to catch up as you start to trickle in like drones or PvP is kind of the same story. I mean, it's TVT. There's always those units you don't want to fall behind in, and there's definitely Workers is one of them, especially in TVT. But like PvP, it's like if you see a opponent go Stargate, go Phoenixes, you have to go Phoenixes or get a lot of Blink Stalkers. And if you fall behind in your Phoenix count too much, it becomes a hassle because now your opponent can just win that fight easily. You have a drop coming out here for Blazefort. He's going to go ahead and move across the map. Try and find some damage again. If he can find a little bit of damage and move across the map, I think he's going to be in a very good position here. His macro mechanics are starting to kick in, so the macro machine to Blaze is really starting to pick up. I think both players want to move out here. Actually, looks like Yakuzaku wants to be the player to move out first. I mean, if he can move out and contain his opponent, that's definitely a way to get back into this game. He's not entirely out. They're both moving up to 3 base, so I mean, he's definitely catching up as we move past that 10-minute mark. Both players have just really settled down and started playing a macro-style game. Now, army supply is almost even, and some of it is tied up in these medevacs that are moving across the map. Blazefort doesn't have anything here really besides some Marines to catch his medevac coming. He doesn't have any missile turrets. There is a tank to kind of defend this side of base. As you can see, it doesn't exactly have that full range. As well as a lot of supply depots here that very easily get picked off. Yakuzaku is going to move down here and start to knock down this planetary before it can finish up, which is going to give him a huge economic lead. These 4 SCVs are going to get trapped down here at this third base. Just like that, he does gets a win. I mean, he gets ahead in the base count, or equal base count. His opponent does have a 3rd orbital command center up and mining. But on the other side of the map, it is 3 base to 3 base. It's only 2 orbitals to 3, so the mule count still is not in his favor. Where's the drop at? He did have a drop. It must have got picked off already. That's his drop. Going up with the army. He's just going to go ahead and back off. Now, he thinks his opponent might be on 3 base. Let's take a look at his vision. Yeah, he thinks his opponent is only on 3 base. Drop in the main base did get cleaned up. The Yakuzaku looking like he might be able to tie this series up. I mean, it's going to come down to just how well Blazefort does play this out and just how much more he gets ahead here. Of course, it's also in this type of composition, it comes down to exactly who can land the tanks or get a better position with their tanks and pick up the better connection on them with their tank on Marine. And also not having any Vikings at this point or any Liberators to answer those tanks is definitely not where you want to be in a TVT, because you want that air control. It's just medevacs, tanks, and Marines, and you're losing in a medevac count even Blazefort. I mean, you're going to wind up losing out in the end because your opponent can just out-heal the tank damage. Believe it or not, he can even pick his army up and drop it on top of your tanks and just actually win out that way. So does Yakuzaku know about the 3rd yet? No, he does not know that there's a base down here on the low ground. So that is going to be a saving grace there for Blazefort. As it looks like Blazefort now wanting to be that player that moves out across the map. He does have an army supply lead. And I think his upgrades are even superior. Yeah, his upgrades are right up there. But concussive shell might be a factor here. So, don't rule that tech out just yet. Because it can catch a lot of Marines, catch some tanks moving across the map. But there's another drop somewhere. As I say, there's some army missing here. Yakuzaku, and he's just trying to keep his opponent back. But I imagine Blazefort is just going to say, lol mate, nice drop, and I'm just going to go for it. Because he does have army here to defend in the main base. Doing a very good job of splitting that up. This is one reason you do want to hotkey your army, I guess. I mean, As a Terran player, I usually don't hotkey army for that reason. But anyway, Blazefort is going to move out across the map. Try and find that position outside of his opponent's natural base. These tanks are sieged up and do have quite a bit of range covering it. Air control is where this becomes a factor. Third base now under siege, and Blazefort not getting another base up and running. This could be a bit of a problem for him. I mean, this drop could start to add up some damage very quickly. But +2 armor and +3 weaponry. Or 3/3 is on the way for his army, so he is in that upgrade lead now. These upgrades are going to be everything here. His tanks can take 1 or 2 more hits. He's actually just a little bit outside these tank range. Yakuzaku keeps highlighting all his tanks like he wants to move them up. A little bit too far ambitious there with that one tank. But he does catch all the Marines out here. He's just going to stem forward and get on top of these tanks of Yakuzaku. I mean, there's nothing here to stop him. All the bio just died, so there's really no bio there. The drop coming in from the back. Blazefort immediately unsieging him, moving into the rest of his army. So he will be able to get these, keep this army alive. There's actually quite the army here for Yakuzaku, trapping the army of Blazefort. But the tank here for Blazefort is doing work, and a lot of this army is still loaded up into medevacs. So, it's just, a very awkward situation. Oh, wait, I had some army supply left, and I didn't drop on top of your tank. I should have closed this series out to make it 2-0 here for Blazefort. And I don't see what exactly is left. I mean, look like Yakuzaku wanted to take that gold. He's not getting the mining out of it. He does have a planetary for third, so he is mining on bases still. Mage is about to mine out as well. But there's just no army left here for Yakuzaku. It's all just now popping out of the medevac or barracks. A tank here and having high ground vision already. That should be pretty much be it. Blazefort's gonna be able to get on top of his production as well. That's not gonna stop Yakuzaku though. Imagine he wants to add on some barracks here eventually. The second army moving across the map to this third base location of Yakuzaku is gonna find it. GG gonna get called out. And Blazefort gonna pick up a 2-0 sweep in week number 3. Well played by him. That's going to conclude Group D, guys. D is done.